Hi guys, welcome to AGI Inception by On Air. Today we have JiNan here today. Hi JiNan.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Hi, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast, JiNan. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I think I always start by saying I'm a recovered engineer. So I had a first career in new product development and R&D, and then decided to pivot into patent law. I worked as an examiner at the US Patent and Trademark Office for a short time, and then transitioned into my own practice, which focuses particularly on building patent portfolios or assets for growth companies across all areas, from high tech to biotech. So I've been practicing as a patent attorney for over 20 years, almost 21 years. I'm an angel investor, and I'm also the CEO and co-founder of a software company that's driven by machine learning and some AI called Magic Number. Our website is magicnumber.ai. And we
when
provide...
When I grow up, I want to be you.
Thank you. Thank you. So we provide vision. We look at patents, not like a landscape that's static, but more like weather. The data is changing all the time. So because of that, we want to keep clients informed about how investment in patents is changing, because it's a leading indicator about what markets will do in the future. Thanks.
Wow.
That sounds good. Yeah, coming back to the theme of the podcast, we would need a one-word command or a one-word input for a self-assembling / auto-assembling artificial general intelligence, which would also be one of the core ethics or the core principles the artificial general intelligence would follow. So what would your word be?
For my word, I pick opportunity.
Hey, that's brilliant. Like, aren't we all just looking for opportunities all the time?
Yeah, I think so, because, I mean, at the start of anything, there's opportunity for the direction. But with AI in particular, I want the mindset and the drive to be about opportunity for solving problems, about opportunity for exploration, about opportunity for accelerating solutions to problems. So
Wow.
that's one of the reasons.
You know something? This is, well, you really got me in here. I was reversed. I first went from law to artificial intelligence, but something that you mentioned in there, the opportunity. Rupesh and I were talking about it actually in the last 2 days. We're talking about the podcast, of course, and we're saying, I was trying to tell Rupesh that if you are prepared, if you do what you have to do, when the opportunity appears, that's where the connection happens, the intersection happens. And in artificial intelligence, think in terms of cell biology. They have two cells, they connect, and they need to have that receptor, and your receptor is opportunity. Wow. I'm blown away. Thank you.
Sure.
Wow. Explain a little bit more.
Sure. I mean, one of the things that we're doing already with our patent forecast software is exploring trends in data. What's coming next? It's what we've been training the software to see is, like, think of evolutionary biology. I'll run with your cell example to say we're looking for how technology evolves. And we can learn the trajectory by looking at the past, but the future comes from looking at the most recent trends. What's happening last week and the week before, and how they relate to each other. So you're right, the interconnectedness is important. But I think you don't only wait for opportunity, I think you make opportunity. And I think for AGI, that's another important perspective, is that it will create its own opportunity even where we have not seen it yet, because it will be looking for patterns that we've not looked for before, or seeing patterns in larger data sets that we haven't seen before. And I think that part of the advantage there is that, just like we think of Google Maps, how beneficial it is that you can start at a high level and then zoom down to street level and look around. I expect that's how we're training our software to work, that AGI itself will be able to go leaps and bounds above that. Go to a high, I mean, look at the planetary level back to Earth and see what you see in real context that we have never imagined.
And I think, I see, this is the conversation, the core conversation. The AIBA group, Artificial Intelligence and Business Analytic Group in Lincoln, was 230,000 people. Never thought it was going to have more than 300 people 15 years ago. But I try to tell people we are advancing AI in any way. And let's use your example. And it's perfect because it's all encompassing. You can take fragrances. How do you know that artificial intelligence cannot create a fragrance that is personalized to you? You like it and the people like the way it smells on you, or a big percentage of the population, let's like that. Or we're thinking in terms of a personal assistant. What about if a personal assistant tells us, get out of the bed in there, you have a good idea, we have been talking, go and make something out of that. See, sometimes we confine ourselves in artificial intelligence to what is possible in our mind, but you are in the new realm, and thank you, I'm in that realm too, by the way. By the way, sometimes people call us that we are a little different, but that's okay.
Exceptional. I prefer to think of it as exceptional. And then we will look for exceptions, right? Because we are different.
2 Happy Meals for her. Wow. I just love this conversation. It's just, see, this is, I think people need to hear this. I'm a believer. People need to hear the different perspective from, sometimes people have a very narrow construct, and sometimes, like you have that strategic vision, and it's strategic not being important, actually it's vision. that and people say, well, they're visionaries, but you know something, that's what made the world the way it is.
Praise the Lord, right. And I think also, I mean, this is one of my core beliefs, that we are all, as people, every person created in God's image and likeness, and we have power to create. And what we're creating with AI and AGI, I think, is even more powerful, right? Because it will go beyond just what we see. We have a phrase in my team, in my office, that you can only invent from what you know. The more you see, the more you know. The more you're exposed to, the more you know. And this is why I love the domain of patents, because it's everything from biotech and pharma all the way through consumer products, electronics, software, and each one has its own a mini genre, and yet the way we solve problems in an abstract way is pretty consistent. So when I think we could feed information and allow the AI to learn quickly from all of the solutions over hundreds of years in the US Patent Repository, and then add more information from beyond that, we're not only looking at what's possible, but it should begin to say, these are questions that have not been asked yet. These are problems that have not been proposed yet that we haven't thought of.
Okay, your AI is Gen Opportunity AI.
Yes.
And I like it. And Rupesh, could you please ask your question? Sorry, I apologize.
So JiNan, like now that we're talking about artificial general intelligence, this is one question I like to ask. Which movie or which book would you resonate artificial general intelligence with?
Which movie or book that I relate it to, even if the movie or book itself is not? Okay,
that's correct.
So
yeah.
I'm going to pick one of my favorite movies, The Matrix.
Oh.
And well, I prefer the first movie to the second and the third, as many trilogies or series can have. one of the things I love about it is everyone starts where they are. You start exactly where you were, even if you were asleep in plugged in, so to speak. But once you awaken to what the possibility, the opportunity of the real world, when you're faced with a choice to choose it or not choose it. There's a lot in the internet today on red pill, blue pill. But if you think of choosing the opportunity pill, the one that's going to open up something to you that you've not seen before, it's curiosity that begins to lead you to opportunity that you haven't known. If we can step out of being limited to what we've only known, even if it's comfortable, then we will really innovate, then we will create, and then if we build that perspective of opportunity and curiosity, creativity flows from that. And from that, we get solutions and we get discovery. And we get
I'll tell you one thing. I want everybody to know this. Everybody who has dealt with me professionally knows how picky I am to select my own professionals that we work, for example. And I want to say to Nancy, I'm sorry, I am changing patent attorney. and I advise everybody to do the same. When you have passion, you prepare yourself and the opportunity comes. That's what makes the world turns around. And I want to thank you. What an inspiration. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Right, but we all start with where we are, right? But the way we work with clients, with our patent clients, is they come with their invention and their discovery from where they are. And when we put data around that context, it stimulates more thinking. It stimulates more thought for them. It stimulates invention. And that's when we really begin to push and explore boundaries. So data drives it. We don't need to make inventions in a vacuum. In a vacuum, you can convince yourself of anything. Get out
That's
of
what make Einstein
data. Yeah.
That what make Albert Einstein great. He literally did it in a vacuum, in a thought experiment.
He started in the patent office. He started in the patent office.
And you are right. And you are right. And it was when he was taking a break in the patent office that he went to that church and started looking at the light. But anyway, we need to wrap it. We have time constraints in here. I want to thank you. I just,
Thank you.
you know, sometimes you spend your whole lifetime a little bit ahead of the curve, and then you realize that now you're living in your future, and you are definitely, and nothing gives me more comfort to know that it is individuals like you that our future is in their.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to talk with you and to learn more about AI every day. It truly applies to everything, from the life sciences to high tech. There is so much opportunity with AI.
So
Thank you.
To wrap up our podcast on a very great note, that is, be opportunistic when it comes to whatever you are dealing with or whatever you're doing. Leads to a lot of inventions and great things in the future. There could be nothing more better than this we could end our podcast today with. Thank you so much, JiNan. It was great having you on the podcast today.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you
So much.
Bye-bye.